Okay, first graders, now that you have read this story and answered a few questions about it, we are going to answer our own question, or one more question in our own words. We're going to write a sentence to do that. You guys have had lots of practice on this, so this shouldn't be too difficult. Let's look at what the question is. Okay, so we have our paper ready to go, and the question is, how did George solve the farmer's problem? How did George solve the farmer's problem? Okay, think through all of those question words. Okay, who, what, when, where, how, and why. Who, what, when, where, how, and why. Okay, so who are we going to talk about in our answer? Well, the question asks, how did George solve the farmer's problem? So who will our sentence be about? It will be about George, okay? And what will George do in our sentence? I'm going to write George. Okay, there's our who. Who, what? What does George do in our sentence? He solves the problem. Okay, so he solves the farmer's problem. Let's put that down. George solves. Now notice I'm having to add the S here. Okay, so far I've used George for the who, and the what is solves the farmer's problem. Every sentence needs a who and a what. George solves the farmer's problem. Okay. Who, what, when? Do we need to worry about when? No. Where? No. How? Yes, that's our question word. How? Okay. Why? No. Okay, when we answer the question word how, we're going to give an explanation of what is happening. So we're going to say by doing something. Okay, so George solves the farmer's problem by, and then you need to finish the sentence. Remember, you can go back and listen to or read the story to help you find where it talked about that. Let's go glance at it together just as a reminder. Okay, so here was our Peanut Man. Oh, don't need to go that fast. Okay, so at the beginning, it's just asking about what you know about peanuts. And then we start to talk about George Washington Carver. Okay, we talk about how he wanted to pay for college. Remember, the question is, how did George solve the farmer's problem? Do you see them talking about farmers yet? Yes, there it is. Okay, so we're just scanning to look for those keywords. So that keyword farmers tells us we're probably in the right spot. Farmers had trouble growing cotton. Ooh, what was their problem? They had trouble growing cotton. Okay, let's find out how George solves the problem. George told them to grow peanuts. Peanuts put good things back in the dirt. Then cotton and other crops would grow better. Okay, so looking back at our question, George solves the farmer's problem by blank. How would you answer that in your own words? Okay, when you are done, you can come back here. Remember, you are S for student. And you can look at your checklist. Did you have starting capital, correct capitals, ending period, proper spacing, and handwriting? Over here, did you answer the question? Did you use the question and the story to form your answer? Okay, put a check mark or a star on any of the things you think you did well, and then make sure to share it so that we can see how you did as well. Thanks for all of your hard work. Happy learning.